So let's talk about our final game of our prediction. And there is no one other place to go than the Anfield. Everyone knows what Anfield is all about. And listen, this is the biggest game right now of this two team season. Let's just be honest. Arsenal, have been doing very well, and been winning games, been, good form at home. Probably away from home is where Arsenal have lost most of their games this season. In fact, all their losses have come away from home this season. And now they're going to Anfield. If you remember this game last season, Arsenal, raced to a 2-goal lead at Anfield. And then, we're left to be hanging on to eventually take a 2-2 draw. And remember what happened. That then spiraled the sequence of draws for Arsenal that ultimately snatched the title away from Arsenal. So Liverpool have been in great form this season, unexpectedly, and it looks like they've sorted whatever the issues were in their midfield. This guy who I cannot pronounce for the life of me, Szoboszlai or Sabosli, what, you know who I'm talking about. So I'm going to start. I'm going to start with you, FaZe, in this game. Liverpool against Arsenal. Two teams that are really, really looking at this game to really signal to the rest of the Premier League whether they are really for real in the title race or they're not. How do you see this game going? And tell me, what are the key matchups that we should be looking out for in this game?
I see a whole lot of fireworks in this game. This clearly, like you said, will define going forward who should really be taken serious as a title contender. Man City, even despite the fact that they are like 7 points behind, everybody still says it's Man City league to win. So whoever shows the determination in this match will be the title contender to Man City, despite the fact that they are 7 points, down. For me, I see a lot of draw, painted in this match, despite the fact that that's not what I want. But I see a bit of what happened last season. It may not be Arsenal leading 2-0 and Liverpool waking up due to Arteta's rubbish. Because Arteta, for me, Arteta caused the problem we had last season. A lot of people may say why. Because he aroused that crowd, and when the crowd got behind those players, and that was it. It turned as if something else happened. Arsenal was in control of that game all through, from the big blast of the whistle. Even when we went 2-0 ahead, we were still controlling that game until that incident happened, and from nowhere, the players rose up, crowd was behind them, and all the way we were hanging on our teeth until the last blast of the whistle. For me, it's not going to be that way. It's going to be more of an open game, lots of fireworks. And like you said, the matchups clearly is, my fear is Zinchenko. I think Arteta just needs a new game plan. The middle game plan will not work at this point because it's going. And Liverpool has good wingers. If and Salah, they're going to play from the flanks, they are going to exploit the Zinchenko loophole. And believe me, these guys are very fast. We will have issues. So I'm thinking that Arteta going on the traditional defenders, look for a traditional, if possible, Jacob can play that wing. He is a better defender, and stay pinned. Let the attackers and the midfielders do the attack. We can't play the same way and allow Gabriel to be running, covering that wing. So I see that place as a potential loophole for Arsenal. That's the only Achilles in our defense I see. Now I also see Gabriel. I see Jesus also. his matchup with either Matip. I don't know who, if Matip will be playing. I see that contest also going to be very, very strong. At the end of the day, believe me, Eddie, it's not going to be a player versus a player. This team plays good football, open football. Everybody will want to play good football, and I see it from both ends. It will go either way because depends at the end of the day who takes their chances better and who is more hungry at the end of the day. And Arsenal must be mindful of that Anfield crowd. There is no way those crowds gets to you at the end of the day. I know we can't play like Man U, but we also have to, we don't have to be too excited. We must control the game at every point in time and make sure we are very structured. Our structure should be firm and resolute and intact while we play. For me, if you look at the head, even the if I'm looking at the stats here, the win probability, the bookmakers are actually giving it to Liverpool at 40%, and they are giving it 34% Arsenal to win. So you see how close that is, and they're saying 26% draw. So a 40 against the 34 is very close, which means everybody's expecting a very tight game. And if you look at the head-to-head, the last 3 games both teams has played in the Premiership, each has won one and they've drawn one. So it also tells you the rivalry that has started brewing within these 2 games. In the last 3 years, both teams have been in form and both teams have been playing good football. And I see good football also going down on the 23rd. So for my prediction, I'm seeing a 2-2 just like last season.
Femi, Arsenal has not won at Liverpool over 6-7 years right now, and the best they had was last year where they were raised to a 2-goal lead, and Salah loves to score against Arsenal. How do you see this? Is this going to be a repeat of Arsenal's woes at Anfield, or Arsenal absolutely going to break that course of never winning in Anfield in a very, very long time? Is this where they're going to turn the tide? Because people used to say if you win at Anfield, then it means that you're a real serious title contender. How do you see this game going?
Well, I think you're right in the sense that our record away at Liverpool has been absolutely piss poor in the last, maybe you say 7 seasons, but the last time we actually really won there was 10 years ago, 2012-13 season, when Santi and Podolski scored and we won 2-0 in the days of Wenger. But I think personally, this current Arsenal team are a totally different proposition. And we saw that last season when they raced into a 2-0 lead. Now, are they a perfect team? Definitely not. But is this a team that can also go down by a goal or two away from home and come back 100%? We saw it at Luton. We saw it at Chelsea. We've seen it in the different places where even when they're down, this team is not out. So for once, I am genuinely confident that a good Arsenal performance will be seen in terms of matching Liverpool. What you cannot guarantee is a victory because you never know what the referee is going to be up to. You never know who's going to make that one individual mistake that may cost us the game or cost them the game. But to match the two teams up, I think we've never, ever been further away from losing at Anfield than we are right now. We don't look like a side that will go to Anfield and lose. In fact, if it was City, I'd be very quietly confident as well. So I think the current Arsenal team are a very confident team. They're also a very competent team as well. It's one thing to have confidence, another thing to know what you're doing. This team knows what they're doing, and we've got Declan Rice in the middle as well. So Liverpool have their own shortcomings right now and their own issues. Alexis McAllister is not fully fit at the minute. That's another plus for Arsenal. But we all know how Robertson loves to race down the left-hand flank and cause problems for us. So he's not going to be there. Tsimikas is a good player, but he's not the same as Robertson. So I think we've got a chance ordinarily. Of course, they got Alisson Becker, but maybe if it had been Keller, I would have even more more confident. But I have to say, yes, it doesn't matter that they have Alisson back. He will protect them better than Keller will. But I genuinely think we would have a confident, good Arsenal team there, a team that is competent at playing the games these days, and we saw it last season. So it'll be a tough call, but something inside of me tells me with Liverpool away at West Ham in the Carabao Cup, starting Salah on the bench, Luis Diaz on the bench, Trent Alexander-Arnold on the bench, that tells you that their focus is on Sunday, even though they really, really, of course, the intention, as always, is to win the next football game. And West Ham was something they intended to win. But I would believe that the really the focus is Sunday, but it won't matter personally. I think the Arsenal team have one thing that gives me confidence is they're a competent team these days, and they will go out and show that. We saw that with Brighton, where they last season and the last few seasons they've been really, really at our throats. And you talked about it, Eddie. I think the manager knows how to deal with those problems. We've seen that at Newcastle as well, when Newcastle stopped us getting the Champions League spots last season, and went there and we totally dispatched them the following season. So, of course, this season it wasn't the case with the VAR issue, but I'm confident. Even though I can't guarantee a win, but I'm confident. And I think because of all those factors, Jota not there, you've got a very likelihood that they're very fit that McAllister will not be fit for that game. I think we've got that midfield just slightly weak or slightly weaker than they should be. And that's where we normally win our games. So I'll probably say for once, this might just be a 2-1 or 3-2 victory. But I'll stick with the 2-1 on Arsenal.
Wow, that's very, very bold predictions. Going there. Listen, I've gone back and forth in this game. And, the reason I've gone back and forth is, you look at the record of Arsenal at Anfield and you say to yourself, maybe there's a mentality thing that is happening there. Sometimes you just have this team that gets into your head. Like no matter what you do, you just cannot seem to get over the hump. Remember those days, as Wenger's team, Stoke, Bolton, Blackburn, there were teams that no matter how well we were performing, every time we played those teams, we always used to struggle. And so I kind of thought it is Liverpool becoming that team. You were saying that the last time we really won against them was 2013. That is the long time to play a team and not even get a result at their home ground. So Liverpool will have that psychological, confidence that, they have the rub of the green in this game. But the reason why, I want to look at this game and think, do you know what? I think Arsenal has really got a chance. This is probably going to be the first time that we're going to Anfield with our full 11 fully fit. You look at that back line. If you remember last season, we played Holding in that game, and he had a really, really tough time. Now we're going to be going there with our two first choice pairing in the center back. And when you play against Liverpool, your defense has to be rock solid. You have to make sure that everyone is up and about doing their business. Remember what happened to Zinchenko in that game? I think he'll be also out to, prove a point. Declan Rice going into that Arsenal midfield, I think is going to do a job there. So I look at this game and I say to myself, actually, this is probably Arsenal's best chance of getting a result at Anfield. You have your squad fully fit. You've got all your first choice players to choose from. You've got players that are getting into form like the Havertz, right? Now, the only thing that concerns me is the goalkeeping position. And that's where Liverpool, no doubt, has an edge over Arsenal. I know your coffee first. I know you want to say something, but I am genuinely concerned about that goalkeeping position.
I don't think that's our problem, Eddie.
Especially at Anfield, right?
It's not our problem.
The crowd is.
I was thinking of Zinchenko's wing. We need, for me, like I said, we need it with traditional defenders. We can't afford to play those inverted defense for Liverpool. I think Zinchenko has to be sacrificed for either Jacob. That's what I think. not the our goalkeeper is above average or average, so it's okay. Actually, when you compare to that league, he is just there. He's okay. So I don't think that's our problem in that defense. The problem is will be Zinchenko. They will exploit that wing, and trust me, Klopp is looking at that, and he will want to work out a master plan to use, tap into those loopholes.
Let me tell you another reason why the goalkeeping concerns me. Because obviously, we've been, told about how we want a keeper that really plays from the back. And if you remember, Liverpool are the masters when it comes to pressuring the opposition, especially when they're trying to kick from the back. So I can just imagine the likes of, Diaz, the likes of Salah trying to pressure Raya. And let's be honest, he has not shown confidence the last couple of games that we've played.
Let me take you up on this also. Liverpool also plays from the back. And we have also seen Alisson make some silly mistakes this season from the back. At least I watched a couple of matches where he has almost caused some blunders playing out from the back. So it goes both ways. And also we have the likes of Jesus, Odegaard, that are pressuring defenders. So it could actually fall in both ways. The same what they can do to us is what we can also do to them. The likes of Matip, they get easily disconnected when you put them under such pressure. So when we also apply same tactics, so it could actually go both ways.
Right now, if you look at the stats of teams that errors have led to goals, we are right there at the top 2 in the Premier League. So listen, I understand. I get what you're saying. Liverpool might have some vulnerabilities. Like I said, I think that Arsenal has got a chance to win this game. And actually, I'm going to pick a 2-1 because I think that, Liverpool will still score a goal. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 in this game because I think if there's a chance for Arsenal to beat Liverpool, this is that chance. But clearly, Liverpool is going to be unaffected by the game that they're playing today because they're resting all their big players. Femi has just touched about it. But I think this is a great chance for Arsenal. And if you really want to establish yourself as a real Premier League title credential, knowing fully well that you've beaten Man City this season at home, if you go to Anfield and beat Anfield, as Liverpool at Anfield, I think that says a lot about your credibility.